Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury. Where the hell is this fight taking place? Is it London or Las Vegas? Wembley Stadium or the EMGM Arena, the O2 or the T-Mobile Arena? That's the big question, my people. In the last couple of days, there's been rumors that the biggest British boxing match of all time is going to take place over the pond in the US. And this has got the British boxing fans absolutely losing their marbles. And can you blame them? I can't blame the British boxing fans, man. I mean, can you understand their pain? The two biggest British boxing fighters of all time. And I'm not talking about ability-wise. I'm talking about commercial revenue. I'm talking about branding. I'm talking about as in terms of superstars. Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury are the two biggest boxing superstars of all time here in the UK. Like, if you disagree with me, let me know in the comments here, and we can have this debate. I can tell you why. I can bring up the receipts as to why these two guys are the biggest of all time. Yeah, when it comes to British boxing history, they are mega superstars. British fans cannot understand, after all the years of failed negotiations, after all the years of waiting, the fight is gonna go over to America. I mean, they feel robbed. They feel absolutely robbed. Let's not, mince our words here. I'm gonna keep it real, yeah. Like, no matter how big Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury have grown globally, and they are mega superstars, let's keep it real. Their base is here in the UK. Their biggest fan bases are here in the UK. Yeah, I understand globally they also have fans, like in America. Tyson Fury has a massive fan base as well because of his links with WWE. He's had fights against Deontay Wilder. I get it. Anthony Joshua as well. He's found some success in the US as well after breaking the jaw of Jake Paul. Yeah, I get it. They've got fans all over the world. I get it. They've had fights in America. They've had fights in Saudi Arabia. They've been about. I get it. But the base is the UK. Yeah, and that's who I care about. Seriously, I care about the British boxing fans because I'm a British boxing fan. I live in the UK, and I would love to see that fight in the UK. It only makes sense if the fight is in the UK. But the person who's gonna make that decision where the fight takes place is the guy that puts up the wonga, man. You know what I mean? The guy that brings the bread to the table. Yeah, the person who's gonna pay both guys the biggest purses of their careers. And that's Turki Al-Sheikh, man. He's gonna have the final say as to where this fight takes place. It doesn't matter how loud the fans scream from the top of the roof. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about these other promoters, Eddie Hearn, Uncle Frank. It doesn't really matter. The decision lies with Dana White. Not Dana White, with Turki Al-Sheikh. Because he's the one that puts up the money, man. He's the one that's going to pay these fighters the hundreds of millions that they're asking for. Yeah? So what has Turki Al-Sheikh said about these rumors online that are coming out, that are stating that the fight is going to take place in Las Vegas because they make the biggest revenue, etc., etc.? Let's read what Turki Al-Sheikh himself actually had to say about this very topic. He posted a day or two ago on his social media, on X. Actually, no, he posted on June the 21st, yeah? And this is what he wrote. Till now, I have not decided yet where the fight will take place, and will work with me. Some people are making up stories about it. If you want to know the facts, take it from me or the ring. If you want to waste your time, listen to others. I think you have tried me all past years, and you know that whatever I say, I do. That is what the boss is saying. Yeah, that's Turki Al-Sheikh, the guy who's made some of the biggest fights in boxing happen. He's the guy with the deep pockets. He's the guy that finances all these fights, man. Without Turki Al-Sheikh, these fighters will not be making the bread that they have been making. It's thanks to Turki Al-Sheikh, do you know what I mean? And Saudi Arabia, Riyadh season, they've been financing these fights, yeah? And Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, yeah? Trust me, they will not be fighting each other without Turki Al-Sheikh actually paying them the big purses that they are demanding. Yeah. So Turki Al-Sheikh, as you can read from the screen himself, he said that he hasn't decided where the hell these fights gonna happen yet. Yeah. So me myself, I don't know where all these rumors are coming from. Maybe it's because of what Dana White has come out and said in the last couple of weeks. You know what I mean? In press conferences, talking about he's the one that's going to promote the fight. I think it's mentioned locations in the U.S., the fight taking place in the U.S., etc., etc. Him going back and forth with Eddie Hearn. So I think that's where the speculations come from. It's all linked to Dana White. And Dana White, listen, man, he's messing people around. Yeah, he's not even people, but he's messing Eddie Hearn and Uncle Frank. He's messing them around. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? He's just trying to take the piss out of them. You know what I mean? He's trying to unsettle them. You know, he's trying to get under their skin. He's playing mind games. That's what Dana White does. But Turki Al-Sheikh himself has not yet made that decision. But I would also say this year, there's no way Dana White is going to come out and say what he's been saying online, in press conferences, without having conversations with Turki Al-Sheikh, because Dana White and Turki Al-Sheikh are business partners. Yeah, they are business partners. Yes, Turki Al-Sheikh is also business partners with Eddie Hearn, and he's worked with Uncle Frank and various other promoters. But Dana White is very close to Turki Al-Sheikh as of right now, because their business needs align, right? Zuffa Boxing and Turki Al-Sheikh and the boxing league, it aligns more than it aligns with the likes of Eddie Hearn and Uncle Frank. Yeah, that's just a fact. We know this. This is an open secret. Everybody knows about this. So Dana White will not grow a pair, will not have the courage to come and say some of these things unless he knows something behind the scenes, something that maybe Turki Al-Sheikh has told him. Yeah, so that's just my take on it, like reading the room, reading the whole situation. But I will say this, in regards to the fight being in America. Like I said at the start of this video, I'm a British boxing fan. I would love the fight to take place in the UK, because look, it's the biggest British boxing match of all time. This will break all type of gate receipts, pay-per-view numbers. It's gonna break everything. Yeah, so it has to be in the UK, right? This is the UK boxing fans that have made these guys. Yeah, it's the UK boxing fans that stood behind Tyson Fury when he was down, when he was people cutting him out, when nobody wanted to see him back. You know what I mean? Everyone was talking smack about him. The British boxing fans carried him all the way back to the top. So they feel like they deserve that gratitude, yeah? And the fight should be in the UK. Even, Anthony Joshua, after the Olympics, winning the gold medal in the London Olympics, like, it's the British boxing fans that pushed him all the way to the top, supported him, his early shows, you know what I mean? They went out there in numbers, bought his pay-per-views, so they feel like, listen, they own that. Like, you need to be grateful to the British boxing fans, you know what I mean? And have that fight in the UK. So for me personally, as a British boxing fan, I feel more for the fans, because if the fight takes place in America, in Las Vegas, listen, we've already seen with the World Cup, the football that's happening at the moment, the ticket prices are crazy, you know what I mean? Paying for flights, hotels, Las Vegas is crazy expensive. I'm not saying London is not expensive, but it's going to be more expensive for British boxing fans to fly out in Vegas, pay for hotels, food, everything. You know how it's very expensive. Yeah, it's cheaper if they're traveling down from Manchester, Birmingham, you know what I mean, like Newcastle, to travel down to London is much cheaper than going all the way to the US. Yeah, so it has cost implications, you know what I mean? And right now, the finances are tight, man. People are finding, life a bit difficult. Finances, you know what I mean? They're not what they used to be a couple of years ago. So it's going to be a slap in the face for British boxing fans if this fight was to take place in America. That's just my personal opinion. The fighters will look after themselves. Yeah, they're going to get paid regardless. They'll go fight in Saudi Arabia. They'll go fight on the moon if they get paid 200 million each. They really don't care about the locations. The fighters live in their own bubble. They're selfish. You know what I mean? They do what they want to do. They look after their own interest 99% of the time. It's all about the fans. It's the fans that lose out. Especially the British boxing fans who have supported these two fighters for the longest. They're the ones that are going to lose out. You know what I mean? That's who I feel bad for. You know what I mean? Even me myself, I would love to go out, yeah. I would love to go Wembley and watch this fight live because this is the biggest. This is the biggest. You don't get any bigger than Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury. If it takes place in America, listen, I'm not the biggest YouTuber. I'm not making the big bucks yet. I don't work for any of these big streaming services yet. You know what I mean? I'm not sponsored or anything like that. So I can't just get up and leave and fly over to America to like watch the fight. So if he's in Wembley, I can't do that. I'll just take the train down to London and go watch the fight and then come back home after. You know what I mean? So it's the costs, you know, and also the fact that I keep repeating this is the biggest British boxing fight of all time. It has to take place in the UK. That's just my personal opinion, man. Listen, if you feel different, let me know in the comments, man. Let's have this debate. You know, like I really care about the fans. I couldn't care less about the promoters. Eddie Hearn, Uncle Frank, bro, I couldn't care less about these promoters because at the end of the day, yeah, Eddie Hearn, Frank Warren, they decided to work with Turki Al-Sheikh. They welcomed Turki Al-Sheikh through the doors. You know what I mean? They helped him set up what he's set up now. You know what I mean? So they just gonna have to live with the consequences of that. You know what I mean? They were happy taking Turki Al-Sheikh's money at the start. You know what I mean? Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn used to beef each other. They became buddy-buddy because of the greed. You know what I mean? Because of their love for money. They decided to squash all the beefs, you know, get rid of all the principles, whatever. You know what I mean? Forget about the past and, you know, kumbaya, become all buddy-buddy because of Turki Al-Sheikh's money. Now that Turki Al-Sheikh is working with Dana White, you know what I mean? And Dana White is taking a couple of your fighters and he might take the biggest British boxing match of all time to America and he actually gets to promote it instead of you guys who actually worked with both fighters for years. You might lose out. Yeah, now you're coming out and speaking out. I don't really feel bad for these promoters, man. You know what I mean? Like once the devil is knocking on that door and you let him in, man, you've let him in. You gotta live with the consequences, man. I'm not calling Turki Al-Sheikh the devil, by the way. Don't come for me. But I'm just giving an analogy. You know what I mean? Like they've created Eddie Hearn, Frank Warren, they've created this mess themselves. So they're just gonna have to live with the consequences. But on the real, you know what I mean? Just keeping the real is me, Enzo, the realest in the game. I would love to see this fight between Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury here in the UK because, like I said, man, these two guys, they're the biggest, mate. They are the biggest, and I'm gonna share with you, like, if you look at the biggest pay-per-views, yeah, in British boxing history, like, you know, you got the likes of Ricky Hatton, but if you look, Anthony Joshua, man, he's been smashing the numbers. He's number 1, number 2, number 3, man. That's how big Anthony Joshua is, man. He's done 1.8 mil. Pay-per-views versus Joseph Parker. He's done 1.6 against Vladimir Klitschko. He's done 1.5 against Andy Ruiz out in Saudi Arabia. But these are huge pay-per-view numbers, man. Tony Bellew. Like Anthony Joshua is up there, man. He's a massive, massive pay-per-view star. Big, big star. You know what I mean? And there's no way you can tell me that these guys can't break the same records out here in the UK because they can and they will. It's Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury, man. And for me, the fight has to take place in the UK. Listen, if it takes place in America, would I still watch the fight? Of course, I'm not one of those people calling for a boycott. I'm still going to watch the fight because at the end of the day, I want to see both guys fight. You know, I just want to see them fight, settle this whole dispute, this whole arguments that we've been having, the debate, who's better, Joshua Fury, just settle it once and for all. This fight was meant to take place 10 years ago. It never happened. I just want to see it finally happen. You know, let's just settle it. Make it happen. Me personally, if it happens in Vegas, I wouldn't really cry about it too much. You know what I mean? But I would prefer it to happen in the UK. That's just my preference. It's just my opinion. I just have to keep it real. You know what I mean? But let me know your thoughts in the comments, my people. What would you like to see these fights happen? America, Vegas, or here in the UK, London, at the Wembley Stadium? It'll be packed. 100,000 at Wembley Stadium. Easy. Packed. Biggest gate receipt of all time. You'll break all type of pay-per-view numbers. It's going to be crazy out here in the UK. But let me know. If you're a UK British boxing fan, let me know, man. What would you like to see this fight happen? UK or abroad? If you're a fan of both fighters, but you're from America, Australia, wherever you are around the world, give me your reasons to why you want to see it go abroad and not happen in the UK. Yeah, I'm really, you know, I really want to know what you guys and girls think about this whole situation, what's happening. You know what I mean? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, my people. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching EMGM Sports. Once again, it's me, your boy Enzo, the realest in the game. Please smash the likes, and if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. I'll be back with another one real soon. Until then, stay blessed, my people. Peace out.